Hey, this is Sri here. In today's video, I'm going to talk you through 3 important steps that you need to take to be able to save your marriage on the verge of a divorce. Now, if you're watching this video, I know you're probably going to be in extreme pain right now. And I want you to go through and watch the entire video, but I really want to help you too. And so I'd love to hop on a call with you just to see if my program and the way I work is going to be the right fit for you, just to see if we can actually help you to move forward and help you to progress in your marriage and get it back to where it was, when you first started getting together as a couple. And so all you need to do is just click on the link below in the description section where it says book a call with me, and then it'll come up with a calendar. All you need to do is just choose a time that works for you. I will contact you directly, and then we can just understand where you are now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap in the quickest possible way through my program. And make sure you hit the subscribe button below and click on the bell notification so that you get notified every week when I upload my latest videos teaching you specifically about how you can save your marriage, how you can understand more about male psychology, and how you can also create real healing within yourself so that you're not constantly plagued by the anxiety and the stress and so forth that comes with the challenges associated with a marriage when it's not going well. Now, I get it. When your marriage is literally on the brink of divorce, it is just the most extreme pain you could ever imagine. You're worrying about the future of your family, your kids, your own well-being, your own survival in terms of being able to be okay financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the whole package. And it just throws you into an incredible spin. And there's probably a ton of videos out there that constantly contradict each other, saying that, okay, you need to give them space and you need to start making more of an effort and so on. And so it causes you to create all sorts of confusion in your mind. And so really what I wanted to do in today's video is really kind of get to the crux of the steps that you need to take in order to be able to create the greatest amount of shifts that you can in your marriage and give yourself the best chance of being able to save your marriage from the brink of divorce. So what I'm going to talk you through now are 3 important steps that you need to take right now so that you can begin to create the shifts that you need to in your marriage. Now, the first step is to stop putting steroid cream on. Now, you're probably listening to that going, what on earth is he talking about? Now, I'm not sure if any of you have had skin problems such as eczema. And what do the doctors normally do? They normally give you some sort of hydrocortisone cream or steroid-based cream. Now, if you were to continue to use that steroid cream over and over and over for a period of time, then what actually happens is it may give you the illusion that the eczema is actually being healed. But once you stop using that, it actually comes back to the surface at some point. And the reason is that you're not dealing with the root cause. All you're dealing with is the surface level problem that you're suppressing. So you're suppressing the actual toxins in the body, and then eventually it comes to the surface again. And this is what happens so many times in marriages when people are working on it. What do they get told? Oh, you need to focus on gratitude. Oh, you need to work on affirmations. Oh, you need to work on just giving him some space and just work on you. But what on earth does that even mean? When we focus on gratitude, now, when your marriage is on the brink of divorce, the last thing you want to be thinking about is everything that you're grateful for. Now, I agree, it is important to focus on gratitude as a daily practice. I think it's really important. But just to say that that alone is somehow going to create some shifts in your marriage is being very naive. Because all you're doing is you're dealing with all these negative thoughts and emotions in your own mind and in your body. And you're trying to use this thought pattern of gratitude to somehow shove down and suppress the negative emotions and thoughts that are coming up in your body. But what happens is when you stop thinking about those things that you're grateful for, your brain is immediately going to go into, oh my God, am I going to lose my marriage? Does he want to file for divorce? What's going to happen to my kids? Am I going to be able to survive financially? And so on. So we have to stop just using the band-aid fixes such as gratitude and focusing on affirmations. As I said, it is very important to do those things, but to think that just those things are going to somehow shift everything miraculously is being very naive. Either that, or the pain isn't as intense, and so those things such as gratitude and affirmations will start to just create shifts in itself right at that moment. So, but if you're dealing with a lot of pain right now, I can pretty much guarantee that just focusing on those two things is not going to create the shifts. Now the question is how do we actually stop putting the steroid creams on? Well, the first thing is that we need to start healing at an emotional level first. We need to understand what are those triggers at the deepest level that are causing us to react in such negative ways or feel so deeply inside. Now, part of you might be thinking, look, it's natural for me to feel this way, and you're absolutely right. But that doesn't mean that we don't stop working on healing at the deepest level so that we create the shifts that we need to. So we have to first start to really get in touch with our emotions and understand what is the deepest wound, or what wound is it triggering inside of me. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about this particular point, then this is where I go through extensively in my Authentic Relationship System training program about how you can heal at the emotional level. And once you heal at the emotional level, there are a couple of amazing things that happen. One is you raise your vibration as an individual. I believe that we're all made up of energy. And so if we're operating with lots of fear and lots of negativity, we lower our vibration and we become less attractive. And I don't necessarily mean attractive in terms of physically or our partner sort of being attracted to us on a physical level. It means that we start to draw in some amazing circumstances, people, etc., to help us and to promote further healing within ourselves. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that we naturally start to feel more positive. We naturally start to create better thoughts and better emotions inside of ourselves because we're healing at the deepest level. So I truly believe that in order to create the biggest shifts that we can, we need to stop putting those steroid creams on and really heal at the emotional level. That is an incredibly important step that you need to take in order to maximize your chances of saving your marriage. The reason why is because if we're constantly dealing with fear and anxiety and stress, we're not going to make the best decisions that we can for our future. We need to be clear in our minds, and we get clear in our minds when we heal at the deepest level, and we need to make sure that we're healing at that level first. Now, the second most important step that you need to take is to break the male code. You see, you can focus on giving him space, you can focus on trying to work on your own self, but if you're not understanding the differences between men and women, then you're always going to fall short, because you're always going to see things from a perspective of how you see the world rather than how he sees the world. And it's so important to recognize that these fundamental differences between men and women is what often causes half the problems in relationships, because when one person says something, the other person interprets it differently. When the other person says something, they interpret it differently. And then suddenly you guys are blowing up over the smallest things possible. It's not even major things. And it's actually the little things that compound over time that cause the biggest issues. It's not just this one big thing. It's often the little things that compound over a period of time that causes someone to say, look, you know what? I'm done. Or they go off and have an affair or whatever. And so we want to try and make sure that this is bulletproof. We want to really create a marriage that's bulletproof, that's divorce-proof fundamentally. And we do that by understanding more about male psychology. So what are the key points that we need to understand? Firstly, men need to feel significant. It is really, really important to understand that. Very important to recognize that men need to feel special, they need to feel unique, they need to feel respected. You know, I've spent a lot of time with men in sports environments and so forth over the years, and I can tell you right now that a huge part of their existence is about feeling really important and special and respected and all of that good stuff, because it makes them feel like they are enough. When they feel inadequate, that's when problems arise. They start to go elsewhere to get their needs met. They start to do silly things. And what happens is that the marriage starts to decline even more. So making a man feel significant is extremely important. And the second important point to remember is that men hate to feel controlled. When a guy feels like he's been controlled by their partner or, you know, anyone in their life really, that's when the resistances come up. Now, either they get more intense or they shut down. And when they start to shut down, that probably makes you feel less loved because you're not communicating and so forth. So you want to make sure that if there's any part of you that's finding that you're trying to control the outcome or trying to control him in any particular way, then you want to just ease up on that. Because if he does feel controlled, then the chances are that he's just going to back off, or he's going to give him further justification as to why he wants to get out of the marriage. So just be mindful of making him feel significant, and secondly, just minimizing the amount of control that's applied to the situation and to him, because that control is going to force him to back off even more. Now, the third step that you need to take in order to be able to save your marriage on the brink of divorce is to create friction. Now, what do I mean by that? You see, naturally at this point in time, if your marriage is on the verge of a divorce, you're going to be dealing with an extreme amount of pain. And that pain is going to lead you into what we call survival mode. That survival mode, if acted upon, is going to result in you doing things that when you're in a clear headspace, that you're not really going to be doing. But because you're in such survival mode and you're worried about how you're going to get through financially and emotionally and mentally and physically and all of that stuff, it's going to result in you doing things that you wouldn't do normally. Now, the problem is that when we're in survival mode, we do things that we shouldn't be doing. We do things that are not going to serve us for our highest good. And the problem is by taking those actions, he's going to feel vindicated for having these thoughts and emotions about why he doesn't want to be in the marriage. He's going to feel controlled. He's going to feel claustrophobic. He's going to feel like he needs space. And so the question is what do we actually need to do here in order to be able to create the shifts that we need to? Now, the important point to remember is that the solution always comes in a disconnected way to the problem. Let's say you've got this problem over here in terms of your current marital challenges. Directly connected to that is the instinctive behaviors that you have at this moment in time, which is to try harder and to push harder and to hope that he goes to counseling and therapy and all of that stuff. Those actions are directly connected there. Now, because they're directly connected, they aren't going to work. You want to be creating a solution that is disconnected to the actual problem. And how we do that is by creating a whole different identity. You see, if you look at your marriage and your current circumstances as a blessing, as an opportunity to actually grow you, to become the best version of you, to heal some of the deeper wounds that are coming up, to heal at the emotional level, and you see it as a real opportunity rather than this huge problem, then you're looking at it from a totally different perspective. You're looking from this really beautiful, positive outlook, and you're starting to create a whole different identity around it as well. Now, the identity component is a lot deeper than just saying, I'm just going to look at things from a positive perspective. We have to go deep. We have to understand, how has the marriage been over a period of time? What are some of the challenges that it's brought up in me? How do I need to challenge my own identity right now of who I am in this marriage? Because so many people I speak to over the period of 10, 15, 20 years in their marriage, they have just become a fraction of who they are. So we want to look at this as an opportunity to grow within ourselves and to really recreate our identity, to go back to that person that we were a long time ago and really bring that best version of ourselves up. You see, we live once on this earth, and I believe that so many people settle for marriages that are absolutely mediocre. We want to create something that's outstanding, something that stands out from the rest. And not that it's a comparison or it's a competition of any sort, but we want to create something that's extraordinary, something that we're proud of, something that lifts us up, and something that helps both partners to grow together. And I think a lot of people get involved in relationships and marriages because they're looking to get something out of it. They're looking to fill up their own feelings of inadequacy. Whereas we want to create a whole new identity where you feel like you're enough just as you are. That you don't necessarily need the marriage to complete you, but together you create this extraordinary partnership where you're actually growing together. But you know that if it doesn't work out for any particular reason, that you're gonna be okay. And what that does is it frees you from the prison that you're in right now, which is needing the marriage to be as it is and holding on to it. Now I know that, you know, this is an extremely difficult time right now for you, and I'm not trying to in any way play that pain down, because it hurts like hell, and I see it every single day when I speak to my clients. But I really want you to understand that, remember, the solution has to be disconnected from the actual problem. When we're operating at the problem level, we're always in survival mode. When we're working on the actual solution, we're disconnected from the problem, and we want to make sure that we're approaching this in a way that's actually going to serve you for your highest good, where you become the best version of you. Now, how do we actually go about that? It's a great question, and I go through it all in my Authentic Relationship System training program, which will help you to become the most amazing version of yourself, to create this new identity. And not that you're going to become a different person, but you're just going to connect back to the core of who you are. And it's going to allow you to show up in the best way in your marriage. And by showing up in the best way for your marriage, there are some amazing things that happen. Least of all, your husband will actually start to be drawn to you a lot more, because you're really coming from that feminine essence that's inside of you. It's an amazing program. You'll absolutely love it. I don't take on everyone as a client. I am very picky about who I work with, because I just want to make sure that we can maximize your chances of getting results. I can't help every single person on the planet, but there are a select few who I know I can definitely change lives. So all you need to do in order to see if you're a good fit is just click on the link below in the description section where it says book a call with me. Just click on that link, choose a time that works for you, and I will contact you at the scheduled time. But it'll be an amazing call where I get to learn more about where you are now, where you want to get to, and how we can bridge that gap in the shortest possible time. And if it's not a fit, that's okay. It's no problems at all, but I'll make sure that we give you a couple of steps so that you're able to move forward and progress on your journey. Thank you so much for watching this video. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the like button below. It really helps me to be able to get that message across to more people and help people's lives, because I'm really on a mission here to be able to help women from all over the world to be able to create extraordinary marriages. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. If you want to learn if separation is good for your marriage that's on the brink of a divorce, click on the video above. And if you want to learn how to save your marriage alone, make sure you click this video above. Thank you so much, and I look forward to talking to you in the next video.